This is my pinned tweet from at Wisconsin Guilty on X.com. Number one, a hospital murdered my father. The hospital intentionally gave him a head injury and he died from it. The medical examiner covered it up and said the bruise on his head had healed, when that was absurd. Number two, my parents' neighbor full bought their house. Her brother signed an offer to purchase the house but had no intention of buying the house. Instead, he conspired against my parents with my parents' own realtor, who told my parents that they had to extend the home inspection contingency deadline. When the deadline had passed, he also told them that the buyer had a right to cancel the contract when the realtor knew that the buyer had no right to cancel the contract. I accidentally found out what happened. My mother could not find a lawyer, so she sued the buyer pro se. In court, the judge intentionally used the wrong statute of limitations so my mother would lose and refused to follow the law. When she pointed this out to the appellate court lied about the judge lying and refused to follow the law. The Supreme Court did not care and it just ignored what happened. This showed me that the court in Wisconsin doesn't care about the Constitution, the law, or the truth, and that the court can lie their way out of a problem even when it's obvious the court is lying. Number three, I got in a car accident and suffered a traumatic brain injury. A cop told the hospital that I didn't have a head injury, even though the cop knew it was likely that I had a head injury. The hospital proceeded to not examine me properly intentionally by not doing a neurological test or a concussion test, and falsified my hospital medical records to comply with the cop's order. The hospital then slammed me down repeatedly, causing me to injure my brain over and over. 4. I had to hire a criminal defense lawyer. The lawyer attempted to sabotage my case. He promised me that he would get me an expert witness for my traumatic brain injury when he had no intention to get me an expert witness and tried to trick me so I would go to trial without an expert witness. I figured out something was wrong when there was no expert witness on the witness list. Eventually, I had to get rid of him. Then he told the judge that he never promised me an expert witness and there was no evidence I had a head injury, even though he told me that I had a traumatic brain injury and told me repeatedly that he would get me an expert witness.